when opportunity comes, you will be ready. It's better. Okay, so let's kick it off. We have a lot of things to explain in the next 1 hour plus. I hope we can get all of them done. So the SOC uh, training is going to be basically the foundation, getting us to know why we have a SOC and how it evolved, the people, the processes, and the technologies. And so, okay, I still want to iterate that when you are starting off in cybersecurity and um, you're privileged to start with introductions with SOC or privileged to start with SOC is a bit advantageous, even though you might not want to or you didn't want to choose SOC as your place where you want to supervise or stay for the future. But having that ground knowledge or that SOC will help you to appreciate the other parts of cybersecurity, like the red team guys, the penetration testing, malware detection, all those parts. So we're going to be looking at how does and where does SOC fit in, why companies need it, and the skills that are necessary, and also the roles, different roles that are in SOC. Okay. So the first is where do SOC jobs fit in? The entire job market out there is large. Okay, the blue, the big blue sea. That's where we get the entire job market, and these are customer-facing interfaces for businesses. Behind it, we have the orange part, which is the information technology that is backing up the front customer side. So you see the HR, the sales, the accountant, the banking, all those guys out there doing the business, but behind them there is a technology that is backing them up, enabling the system. Now, this technology, can go from the front end, full stack, with all the whole tools and uh, what's it called, skills used. That's where you find those that are engineers in these, Python guys, Java, they write the programs to ensure that the customer base is being covered. Now, behind these guys also, the guys that do the information technology guys, you will find below them, you'll find the IT infrastructure. Now, what do we have inside the IT infrastructure? We have the system engineer guys, we have the network engineering, and of course, they make use of databases, which more or less ensures that businesses and organizations they perform their routines very well. Now, behind this IT infrastructure, there is another layer, which is the IT security. You find the IAM, the endpoint security guys, the vulnerability assessment guys, and also those who work in network security called. Now, look at this whole section of the business world. Every big business or every small business you see today has a part of all these things playing in it. It might not be as broad as this, but they all have a part of all these segments playing in it. Now, the final part under the IT security is the SOC. Inside this blue layer, the dark blue layer, you find the SOC analyst, which makes use of the same tools, the SOAR, and the threat intelligence. This is where SOC is being found. This is the heartbeat of SOC, where it is. So, when looking at this diagram, you point that it looks as though SOC is the bedrock of business. Just like we could say that, will it be fair for us to say that the security guy at the gates somehow has a lot to do to contribute towards the success and the failure of the business? We'll find that as we go ahead. Just like the civil engineer who has working patterns or who works with the architect, the mason, the worker guys, the plumber, even the electrician and painter. He might not necessarily have all these skills, but he sure does have enough knowledge to work with them. You see? And that is the same way with SOC, the IT security team and the infrastructure team. The SOC guys will always find himself working hand in hand with the IT infrastructure and the IT security team. In fact, in recent times, I think they've even encroached into government and governance and policies. Please, at any time when you stop hearing my voice, you let me know. Can anyone still hear me now? That has knowledge of the mason, the tiler, and also the electrical guys. You, as a cybersecurity personnel, you should also have at least basic knowledge of what these guys do. If they ask you randomly, or if you meet someone that said, I'm a vulnerability assessment engineer, you should already know, okay, this guy is into vulnerability testing and all those things. And it's also part of some of the things you will do in SOC, not just SOC, even in this our lab, in this our program, you will also be exposed to doing vulnerability testing, um, most times assessment testing too. Vulnerability assessment and vulnerability testing, both of them are similar, but they're not all the same. You also, when you meet someone that is in the database, you say, okay, you must have worked in something that related to database. For example, during your final practical, when we will be doing juice shop penetration testing, we work with database. We have to manipulate SQL database to get what we're looking for. So the person that is into the network engineer or system engineer, even the IAM, I'm working on a personal project that has to do with IAM. I am trying to build honeypots and some other stuff. So little by little, when as long as you are in the field and you're good and truthful to yourself, you're working, you will somehow be able to relate with your other folks that are into different sides that are not necessarily in so far as cybersecurity is concerned. Okay, now why SOC the jobs are in demand? Started from the major reason, which is cybersecurity skills shortage. You see, that's what happens when the good guys are few. When the good guys are very few um, in the field, there is going to be shortage of skill. So, cybersecurity skill shortage started skyrocketing when internet and technology started going up. Also, with the impact of COVID, which brought in, which ushered in remote working, it got high more. So if you go on to Google now and you check the rate at which cybersecurity jobs are growing, you'll find out that they are actually growing in progressive form. Most times, they are even jumping. You find out that an organization might have need of after they have need of their normal security guys, they might specifically need a field in cybersecurity, someone that has a specific skill to do one or two jobs for them. So there are very few ways to jump into cybersecurity. One of the most unadvised way is to do everything at the same time. How do you do everything at the same time? For example, you go to YouTube, this person is teaching, lecturing on this topic. You jump on it, and the next day you see another topic, you jump on it. And at the end, all of them might seem, but not just the same. No two curriculum or field is the same. I told someone I wanted to join. I told him, which aspect do you want? He said, I want to be a cybersecurity person. I said, yes, cybersecurity personnel is like being an engineer. What type of engineer, what aspect of engineering do you want to major in? Because engineering is vast, cybersecurity is vast. Okay, you will see. Let me zoom this a little bit. All the cybersecurity domains, one can actually focus and build on them, and specifically major on them. Someone can be on user education, threat intelligence, uh, framework and standard, governance, etc. So having or being involved in a boot camp like this also enables one to have a structured learning path. Then, of course, from there you can now grow your wings and fly from there. So there is a major myth that says that cybersecurity is difficult, it's only for hackers. Someone was asking me today that he wanted to do penetration tests. So I asked him, do you have programming skills? If you have programming skills, then you're good for penetration testing. He said, okay, that is learning Python. I said, good. If you're learning Python, then you're in the right path, okay, for penetration skills. But you have to still start from the basics because if you don't start from the basics, you won't know what you're protecting. And also, cybersecurity is not equals to hacking, but there is hacking in cybersecurity. So, to the topic of the day, which is Security Operations Center. This material, I think I gave it out the last time we had class. How many of us has? Did I give it out? I should have. I think I should have. Can I get response, please? Hello. Yes, go ahead. Oh, I did it.
The PDF or which one?
No, this particular SOC training. Did I give her the link?
No,
No,
no, no.
Oh, okay. It's all
You
right.
only sent the PDF.
The PDF. Okay. Which is this, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So there is this is a part of an and Bruce training on SOC, which is his onboarding training. It's free. It's on it's free. It's free of charge. Okay. So why I adopted it is I love the way he went in, low and high. From low and high, he brushed everything concerning SOC, giving somebody that is coming in new the opportunity to pick up the basics and make decisions fast in SOC. Okay, so the best domain in cybersecurity eh, is allegedly, or I would say, the lowest hanging fruit in cybersecurity would just be the Security Operations Center. This domain is only evolving since 2015. That's when it started evolving, so it's not been long. And 63% of cybersecurity job opportunities are in Security Operations Center. Also, there is currently low entry barrier in cybersecurity. Anselm, could you mute, please?
Okay.
Yeah. And also, some of the certifications are not yet all costly for now, even though the basic certification that we are going to be uh, using that is included in our program, which is the ISC2CC certified in cybersecurity, is $199. But of course, you all know that you get to sit for it free of charge. And sitting for it free of charge gives you the opportunity to pass. If you're unable to pass it on your first sitting, which I don't think is that difficult, but it's very tricky. You just have to be the best, be on your best examination mind to be able to pass it. So if you pass it, very fantastic. If you don't, then you apply for a receipt which costs. $199. And that's a lot of money for those of us in Nigeria. Okay, there are different IT teams in a company. Of course, some of us might have an idea. We have the system teams, network teams, endpoint security, network security, information security, security operations center, application development team, database, etc., including the cloud virtualization, vulnerability assessment, and identity and access management. Now, all these teams, they have different stuff that they do. For example, the system team guys, they provide the systems, make sure that the provisioning is done, install and maintain operating systems, configure and manage servers, installing necessary applications. In the network team, they do what they do best. They plan and design the network architecture using some of these tools. If you look at the material very well, you find router, switch, access point, network cables. Okay, I think in the exams that is coming, you will have questions coming from these networking side. Especially, they might ask types of what's it called networking, types of networking, whereby you have to choose between some answers that are relative to the designing or the plan that is being given. So I think next week is for IS, ISC2 training. So we are going to look at that part too, so that we will be able to prepare ahead. And we also have some exam practices and what's it called? Some resources that will help you to sit for that exam and pass it. So let's go ahead. The endpoint security team guys, they protect endpoints and network. Of course, they use tools like antivirus, host firewall, intrusion prevention and detection systems, data loss prevention, disk encryption, endpoint security team. So all these teams is required that you should know at least somehow what they do. Network security team, they protect the overall network, storing and configuring, maintaining network security solutions. Okay, these guys they are bound to make good use of firewall, prevention system, gateway, web gateway, email gateway, wireless security, and WAP. WAP means web application firewall. Then we also have this wonderful team, which is the InfoSec security team, which is the GRC guys, which GRC stands for what? Who knows? Who knows what GRC stands for? Governance, risk, and compliance is here on the screen. So, what do they do? They strategize, they push out business processes, they push out policies, performance management, risk management, and control activities, audits. For example, when you're preparing for exam, they will ask you which body in an organization uh, signs out or gives out the policies. It's going to be the senior management, and those guys are in the governance section. So the GRC, some people can just dwell in this part. If you find out that you're good with documentation, policies, you know, we had someone that was a chartered accountant that was doing the program. So this was his focus. Even though he took the whole program, but his focus was GRC because of the policies. He already have knowledge of documentation, policies, rules, and laws, etc. So if that is your thing, then you focus on the GRC part. Then we have the vulnerability assessment team. These guys they use automated tools to scan the network to identify the vulnerabilities in applications or systems. That's where you see that once they find errors, they try to patch it up. So we have the identity and access management team. I am. They create and manage identities and access rights of people and employees, even customers. This is what these guys do. Now we have the security operations center. What they do basically is monitor, detect, investigate threats, cyber threats. They work with SME or other teams to remediate the security incident. Basically, they use tools like the SIM and the SAW, threat intelligence tools, and also analysis tools. So time has passed on, and it's been recognized that SOC is like the central to organization security. When we are talking about the security of an organization, that little thing, because when we are talking about network security, you come down to SOC. When you're talking about endpoint security, it's all boils down to SOC. Network security, vulnerability assessment, help desk management, all those things has a way to connect itself into SOC. What are we saying in essence? How did SOC come into existence and how did it get relevance? So the evolution of SOC by Anand Go, year 2008 to 2010, Stuxnet was developed and is allegedly the first cyber weapon. Of course, you can imagine the first cyber weapon, what it was used for. It was designed to bring down Iran's nuclear power plant. That's one of the heights of cybersecurity. Now, what does this tell you? Or when you think about this, what do you think is the extent to cybersecurity in a nation and in an organization? What do you think? What do you think is the extent to the effect of cybersecurity in an organization or in a country? Response, please. Answer them. You could go first.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you could go first.
Yeah, you said the effect of what? I didn't quite get
I
you.
said, what do you think is the effect of cybersecurity when it comes to a nation or an organization? What can be what's the highest that can happen, or what is there any disadvantage or advantage when it comes to cybersecurity as relating to an organization or a country? Because here we've seen that Stuxnet is the first cyber weapon that was developed, and it was used to target to bring down Iran's nuclear power plant. That's a whole nation's nuclear power plant. So, what do you think to this effect, the size or the demolition size or the effect of cybersecurity in an organization or a country?
Oh, okay. First, by using this case scenario now, this Iran's nuclear power plant,
Yeah,
where they develop the stocks nets
yeah,
to bring it down. In terms of cyber security, one I think is infiltration in terms of having access to maybe the program or whatever. So I could say that okay, one um, protection in terms of what's that word? Um, okay, hacking
hmm,
one. Then I think general protection of database and whatever. I think yeah, I think that's what it
even
should be.
yeah, thinking about it, how Ola, thinking about it, how do you think this kind of attack was carried out to have this kind of effect?
I want to believe that while they were designing this, right, the people that designed this, softnets. they've actually studied the nuclear plants very well. Because one thing about cyber is that they need to understand the technology that is used that be able to bring this Iran nuclear power down. So I want to believe that they've actually studied, they know the technology that went into the construction, the building, and all of those things for them to be able to build something that is able to counter it and
Mhm.
bring it down.
That's it. So, Frank, in relation to an organization or a nation, do you think that the issue of cybersecurity can be overemphasized? Dara, are you there? I think he's not there. Okay, let's go ahead. If cybersecurity can be used to target a whole country's nuclear power plants, then nothing is safe. If, for example, you have the airlines and so many stuff that are working all in a network, so far as there is a network, there is a chance or a vulnerability towards that. So we have major cyber attacks in the past. Having, I think Yahoo has the highest number of what's it called, attack. Yahoo or Visa, I think it's Yahoo. They said in 2012, hackers posted login details for more than 453,000 users. And also, the letter affirmed in October that all 3 billion of its user accounts were impacted. Mhm. So you can imagine the extent to which this kind of things can happen. So now it begs the question: who is now safe in the internet? Who is safe? Now look at this case scenario. Ola, could you read it out for us?
Right? It took 205 days for companies to detect the attack. 80 days before the attack, there were indications that the attack would happen. 67% of the time, the attacks are detected by an external entity.
Hmm. So in nutshell, we assume that an attack, there are signs that an attack would happen in January. January finished, February, March, April. The attack happened in April. Still, no detection. March, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Sorry, guys, I wanted to take over. An attack has been detected by November. So, this is a scenario of what the time before SOC came in. This was what it looks like. Imagine the gap, 205 days for companies to detect an attack. 80 days before the attack, there were indications that this attack would happen, and yet nothing was done about it. Or better still, nobody noticed it. Then 67% of the time, the attacks were detected not even by the root cause, of course, is lack of visibility. Because if there was visibility, all this would have been noticed and have stopped on the way. And that was why the need for security monitoring came in. And that is why today you could see people who will sit down, their work is just to sit down and watch and monitor the screen for anomalies and trying to look at the screens. All those, the networks and businesses that are happening, at least they are passing through the screen. And as a SOC personnel or SOC analyst, your eyes are on the screen monitor for alerts. Events are happening. With the tools available to you, you are able to detect early whatever it is that will hamper the business. Now, you will ask him, what shall we monitor? Or what does the SOC analyst monitor? Of course, there are logs, logs and logs and logs and logs, logs coming from information logs coming from the system servers, the security solutions, and the network devices. Logs coming from all these sections. When they are pulled out, they are passed through the same tool, and of course, they will pass through your screen, your monitor, where you looking at them to know if there is any infectious or any bad one before you could figure it out. Now, another challenge came up, which is logs are hard to read. Not necessarily they are hard to read, but this is an example of log that we have here. And we have it that almost 25 million logs go through a system in a day, mostly 300 logs per second. So let us do an exercise. We're going to read the first log. Let's see who's going to read it. Uh, Frank, crazy. Are you back now? You come and do this test. If it's not online, answer them. Give it a shot. Try reading this log.
Okay. Now, where do I start from? Challenges. They are not easy to read.
Yeah, read the log itself. The log
Okay.
itself.
Okay. 111.111.111.111.
Explain it for us. As you read it as though it's a sentence. But read it, explain it as a sentence for us. Let's see how come you could be able to read.
Okay. Let me see. Um, 111.111.1. That I think that looks like an IP address.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then hyphen on the 8th of January 2020 at 11:17. Is that 11:17?
Yes.
Oh, 400 hours. That's 4 GET. So HTTP slash
Do you
whatever
know what
that.
that GET
I
means?
think get
What do you think it
uh,
means? Baba?
get. I think maybe they are trying to infiltrate.
They are trying to get something. So when
Trying
you
to
when you go to Google and search for something, you are getting something. So you now have an idea of what this is. This is a Google search. Someone is searching something. He's trying to search something.
okay searching.
See, so
Okay, Google search log analyzers.
you can see it, right?
Okay, using Mozilla Fox
Yes.
official client Firefox.
Yes.
Okay, Mozilla Firefox
Hmm.
using the Windows OS.
Okay.
Windows, I think that's the Windows version. Windows
Yes.
NT 5.2.
That's nice.
Uh, US.
Yeah.
I think it's originating from the US.
Yes, you've tried. That
All
EN
right.
is like the language of his system or his network
Okay,
is using
okay,
English.
okay, okay,
English.
English, US, okay, or UK,
Yes,
okay, okay,
English.
okay, okay, okay.
So you could see that this is example of one log. Now, what do you think will happen when 25 million of these kind of logs come in a day? How possible is it to read all of them? It's going to be hard, right?
Yeah, it was done very difficult.
Yeah, going through them. Meanwhile, from this log now, if you are doing something like vulnerability testing, or maybe you are in the SOC, you could just pick out this guy's IP address to even check
IP
out,
address.
yeah, to check out who he is and what kind of person he is. Then you know what to do from there. So let's do that quickly and see this IP address whether it's good or bad. What do you guys
Okay.
think? Can we do it?
How do we? Okay, let's try.
Oh, okay. So let me share the whole screen so you can see how I'm navigating to the entire screen. Okay. So remember his IP address, that is 111.1. So it's 31.111.111.111. Okay. So I'm going to um, what is this? Virus total. Now this website is open and it's open source. It's online. Yeah, it's not uh, a separate or a private application. So even on your system on your phone, if you type virustotal.com, you're going to get what I'm getting. You understand, right?
Yes.
Okay. So once it opens, we are going to check this guy's IP address to know how bad or how good he is. Also, with this virus total, you can check a file, check whether the file is good or bad. You can check whether a website is good or bad, this kind of stuff. So this time around, what we are doing first now is to check his IP address. So what's his IP address?
The internet protocol.
Yes, what is it? The guy we are checking up, though, that person that we saw his log, we read his log.
Oh, okay.
One
It's
one
not
one
clicking.
dot.
Okay, it's 111. That's triple one dot triple one dot triple one dot triple one.
Okay.
Okay, it has come up. It says,
Okay, you're opening it from your own system, right?
yes,
Good. Ola and Frank, I hope you guys are still there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. Who just spoke now? Is it Ola or Frank? Okay, Ola. What
Yeah.
happened to Frank? I've not heard his voice. Maybe he's sleeping. There's no need to sleep in this economy. Not mind sleep. Okay, so when I press the enter button, man looking at the screen, you already see a lot of red
yeah.
to let us know that come, this guy is not playing. I want to just a minute. So first of all, you look at his score, 2/94, and on the average, on the summary, we have security vendors flag this IP address as what?
Malicious.
Malicious, exactly. So men going through this guy's IP address, you could already see that he's up to no good at all.
Mm.
Let me send someone wants to enroll for the program. Anything, a batch, a minute, the batch. Hello, Dennis. I'll get back to you probably in the next 1 hour. The batch is currently on class, so I'll get back to you soon. Thank you. Okay, so you see, his IP address has been flagged by this company on so many bad things. So you could check out the details, the stuff, where he's from. See? What's his country? JP. JP should be the fine. And the description is status, email address, if they are there, last modified, mailbox. So you could pick up some basic information about this person. Or this happens with almost every IP address. Any IP address you pick up, you come here and look it up. It's part of the um, early vulnerability or assessment practices you should be doing. You look up,
Sorry,
uh,
where did you click to give you all these details?
okay, the first one that comes out default is the dictation. So the
Okay,
next one here is details.
Details,
okay,
details.
details. Oh, okay. I've seen it.
Yeah. Then the next one is relations, associations, and community. So let's go back to our file. You already seen that. Let's assume that this log is part of the 25 million logs a day. It will always or it will normally be very difficult to figure it out by eyes if something is not being done because of the volume of the logs that are coming. Now, there, there became a solution had to be introduced to solve this challenge. And that solution is called SIM, Security Information and Event Management. That is the full meaning of SIM. So, which made us to have SIM tools, the tools that fall into this solution. So, don't forget this acronym SIM, Security Information and Event Management. Okay. Now, all those what's it called systems and parts, they pull out logs and the logs enter into SIM. Then SIM automatically with settings, customized settings, will now tell us, okay, Ola, SLM, there is a suspicious link here, there's a suspicious log here. Read this log and check. So now you can now your workload will reduce from 25 million to a couple of hundred, where you could actually literally pick up those logs and go through them one after the other. When you find things that are not nice there, you could now raise a ticket on them so that the incident responders will take care of it. So let's do a small recap. We found the problem, which is lack of visibility, the root cause, and now we have a solution, which is how SOC has graduated from just being a, a hypothesis to becoming something very a crucial part of an organization. Now, let's move on to another segment. There is a problem which is accidents, and the root cause is people don't wear their helmet. So when they have accident, they break their head. The solution is every biker you must have helmet. But the question I want to ask is, and I need answer, is it every biker that likes or willingly wears their helmet?
No,
Okay. So what's normally, let's say in Nigeria or in your country, to ensure that every bike man has helmet, what does the government do?
they enact laws to punish offenders.
Or possibly assign road safety,
Road safety, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
to check people that don't wear the helmet. So the same thing also in cybersecurity. The rules, the stuffs, the bad things have been noticed, and the root cause has also been noticed. Now, without rule enforcers, it will be hard. People normally don't like to obey or obey rules and regulations. So, rule enforcers were being created. Now, cybersecurity rule enforcers, we have the Security Standard Council, we have the Security Monitoring, we have the GDPR, we also have the HIPAA, which is Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Management. Okay, I think in week one we looked at some of the bodies that what's it called again? That are in charge of data protection, right? I think we looked at that in week one as a classroom in your content. So those solutions, like the same solutions, there are some companies that have them uh, as a product to ensure that systems are being carried out and all these things are being used to protect the systems. Where IBM have one lab, McAfee has Neutral Security, Splunk has Splunk Enterprise Security. So we've seen the SIM. What is SIM again?
Security information event management.
Arsenal wants to sleep. I can hear him yawning. Arsenal, what is SIM? Ola, you got it. Yes. Security information and event management. So we've seen the SIM and also the SOC and also the security analyst. The security analyst, this is the team that makes use of the same tool for securing security monitoring. The team that makes use of the same tool is called the security analyst. Or also the team as a body is called the SOC, Security Operations Center. And we have the security analyst, which is the SOC analyst, who works in the SOC. And his work literally is to monitor, detect, respond to incidents. Now, the remaining parts of we've gone half of this what's it called material. The remaining part is going to cover more in depth on analysis of how important SOC is. So I would want us to do that by ourselves, finish it up, and do a summary of SOC. Just give me a one pager of SOC, but ensure to put the vital information. Do a one pager, do it with Google Doc. You don't have to do fancy stuff. Just the Google Doc document, one page of SOC, the importance, the root cause, and some of the important roles, or maybe first 10 roles, or the roles that interest you in SOC. Yes. Give me a summary of SOC, include the vital informations from it, and also the roles. The first 10 roles that interest you in some. So you submit it when you're done. And I think that will be where we'll be calling it a day today on SOC. The week is going to be a little tedious for you guys because you're expected to start uh, preparing for your exam. You might not necessarily write the exam this week or this month. You might book it ahead for next month, or whenever you're ready, you let me know. We could assist you so you could book the exam ahead. But please ensure that at every possible best that you will get ready and pass the examination. You wouldn't want to be in a position of failing it and trying to rewrite again, even though you might get smarter by that time. But it will always be nice that you get it right the first time. Don't also forget that we have some resources and tools that you can use to practice for the exam also. So this coming week is for ISC2, which um, I think I'm going to drop in the group the processes of registering. So you ensure that you register successfully, then you start taking the. There are 5 domains covered in the ISC2 training. So when we meet next week Friday, we're going to elaborate them, stretch down to 8 domains, and look at them one after the other plus use cases. So this week we're entering. You do your summary on the sub, finish up the material. It's almost finished. Finish it up, then register for your ISC2 examination so that you can start doing the training with the community. Once you register, you become a society member of ISC2, and hopefully, before your what's it called membership will expire, by the time you write, let's say for example you wrote the exam on January, by January the next year before it will expire, the hopes are that you must have gotten, even if it's an entry level job, and that would be a nice one. So, guys, thank you very much. I will take questions now. If there are no questions, we will call it a day. Kindly ask any question you have, so we will take care of it. Answer them. Any question?
No, no question, sir. So far.
Oh, okay. So, Ola, my good friend.
Yeah, so I thought the exam is going to come after we are done with this 7 weeks class, but I'm hearing we've just done 2 weeks now. Then we should prepare for exam.
No, you are. It's like registering ahead for the exam. When
Okay,
you
to register.
register, you get the portal for you to use the training materials in that portal. So by the time you are done with the training in the portal and done with your own personal training, then you can book for the exam.
Oh, now I get. Now I
Yeah.
get.
So it's
Now I
not
get.
as though you are mandated to write the exam this week or no, no, no. So it
Oh, I
gives
get.
you the ample time to prepare yourself ahead for the exam. Dara, we've not heard from you for the past 30 minutes. Are you sleeping?
No, no, no. But I'm having a little network. Listen, I'll still watch the video later.
Okay, it's all right. So, do you have any questions now?
No, no, not really.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Let's call it a night. See you guys in the group. And remember, if you have any challenge, you have any questions, I'm always eager and available to help us to get to the next level. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.